like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Well, Zoom has changed.
Science.
Yeah, it got updated and
Yep.
now things are in different places and it took us longer to work out everything.
Yeah, we were playing around with the React buttons,
Yeah.
so that was fun.
Yeah.
Putting rocket ships up through the shared window or FaceTime.
Yep. It's not FaceTime, it's Zoom
I know.
time.
Yeah, Zoom
FaceTime is
time.
something completely different.
Yep.
There's now in the upper right-hand corner of my screen a little flashing red button that says REC, so I know it's
Oh,
recording.
nice.
So that's handy.
Yeah, I just have a bar saying this meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, and if you click on it, it goes away.
Yeah, I can hit OK button and it'll go away.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, hi guys. Welcome to Shield Podulation episode. What episode is this? Episode 60?
Is it? Yeah, because I
No,
think
that's
last one was
59. 59.
yeah,
It's
I think
59.
58 was the last one, so 59, yeah.
Yeah, 59. Next one will be 60. Holy shit.
I know.
I don't feel like we've been doing this for 60 episodes.
I know. It'll be weird when we get to 100.
I know.
It'll be like 10% through.
Yeah, 10%. And then when we get into our 60s and 70s, we'll just double up because otherwise we're never going to get through it before we die.
Yeah, might have to eventually do that. Is start doing
Anyway.
double episodes.
Yeah, that'd
Those
be
people
kind of
that want us to
interesting.
do a Patreon. Not that we have enough listeners for a Patreon.
We don't have enough listeners for Patreon. If we did, though, that'd be cool. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, how are you, Dave?
I'm doing well, as you well know. It's been doing some writing, which I hadn't done for ages, so having fun doing that, though that's starting to occupy my time and becoming like a hyperfixation I have to look out for, where, it dominates and that I'm not doing other things.
No,
So there's
I know
always
how
that
that goes.
question. Yeah.
I know how that goes. So far, though, I don't think that you have been neglecting anything, as
Oh,
far
no,
as I
there's
can
probably
tell.
yard work I should be doing because the backyard's starting to look like a jungle.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be this fucking warm in
Yeah.
March.
No, it shouldn't.
Anyway, I'm going to start the show today by doing the things I usually do at the end of the show, and that is which to say, thank you to Dan Gunther for letting us use your spreadsheet. I will be eternally grateful for that because
Indeed.
he set up a spreadsheet that was way better than mine that I was working on when he just said, I'll just share mine with you. So thank you to Dan. Hi, Patrick. I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
I've had regular updates from him. We talk a lot on Messenger, so I know he's okay so far. So yeah, he's in an area that is being terrorized by fascists. So yeah, fuck terrorism, fuck fascism, fuck ICE. So so yeah, those are the things I want to get out of the way because sometimes I forget to say them, and so I just decided I would say them first this time. So yeah, here we go. We are doing another Discovery episode. It's been a minute.
Just a second. When you said I would like to begin, it was like, wait, didn't you hit record? I thought you said you hit record. I'd like to begin the show. It's like, I thought we already began the show, but anyhow, yes, Discovery.
Our opening prayer will be
Yeah.
our opening hymn will
Turn to
be number
Galatians
257,
3:17.
and our opening prayer will be given by Brandy.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my religious past that just came into it, but it's funny. I mean, it's just, that was part of my life. It's not anymore, and I thank the universe for that. Okay, so
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John tell 4 different stories of the same story.
Yes, and really, was that really their names? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Really? If they're telling the story, they're not telling it from actually being there because there was no fucker in that land called Mary, as says Susie Izzard.
Let alone 2 of them. It's like, where's every chick in this town named Mary?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, Discovery, season 4, episode 7, ellipses, but to connect.
But to connect.
But to connect. So, and there is actually more to that, which I'm trying to find where she says it. Not, I think it was not to destroy, but to connect. I think that was what was said.
Right. Yep.
But I can't read my own
Yeah, it was
handwriting.
during
Fuck.
her. There's a lot of speechifying in this episode.
There isn't a lot of action, but here's the thing:
Yep.
it just Star Trek isn't all about action. You can get action from time to time, and there's the thing is that that's not what this is. This is commentary on what we're living right now. That's what Star Trek is, and it
Yeah.
actually even going back to the 60s, it can be very prescient, like scarily prescient, really. So this is this
Yeah.
may this is stuff. This is what are the words I'm looking for? I wouldn't call them morals or ethics, but these are attitudes, I guess I would say,
Okay.
that are, current for the time, but actually these are over there's these are far reaching. These are things that are applicable in any time period that Star Trek has existed in. So
Yeah.
that's one of its greatest gifts, is that it can take, it can do stuff in the future, quote unquote, that actually applies to us in the present.
Yeah, that's what speculative fiction does really well, is it's a reflection of
Yes.
our time and it also speaks to the human condition in which the events of the future can reflect what happens now as well because it's just the
Hmm.
same thing. Yeah, I think the biggest piece of action we have is a cat not playing with the toy.
That's not
That's
true.
that's about, well, there's people teleporting. I guess there's that.
Yeah, basically the only thing that comes close to action is off-screen stealing the newest
All
spore drive,
right.
but
Yeah.
on-screen integrating it into Book's ship.
Yeah. Yeah, the big
So,
action sequence is the thing that took place off screen.
yep. And that, honestly, that's fine because that's not what the tone of this episode is.
Nope.
So,
This tone
that's
is
not.
speechifying.
It's speechifying, and I must say it was really nice to see all of our future friends again. See President
Right?
Rillick and Ndoye
Kovich.
and Kovic, yes, and of course everybody. We don't. I'm not counting the Discovery people because the show's about them, but also Tarina, and we get flirting. We get flirting
We get a little
between
flirting.
Trina and
I
Saru.
mean, the chemistry
And
between those two is just electric.
which is so funny because that wasn't planned.
Yep.
And when they started seeing that, when the writers and producers and directors started seeing that, they're like, "Oh, we need to play this up."
Yeah, there is chemistry between these two actors. We got to do a
Yeah.
romance. We got to ship these two.
Oh, we shipped them. We shipped them hard. By the way, if you haven't seen all of season 4 of Discovery, I'm not going to tell you. No, I am totally going to tell you. They totally get married. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, this is not a watch along podcast at all. You should have
no,
seen it
no, it's not.
because otherwise you're going to be all over the place trying to keep up with us, which would be an
Yeah.
interesting thing to watch Star Trek for the first time with us doing
Mm.
commentary.
Oh God, no, that would ruin everything.
It's like this
Yeah,
episode 1 leads up to episode 10, the conclusion in which this happens. You're like, "Oh man."
yeah. Well, anyway, we start with Scrudge not going to play with Michael at all. She's just not, but at least she's not hissing anymore. So there's that.
Right.
And there's going to be an assembly, and everybody better quiet down when you get to the auditorium and
Hmm.
speak one at a time and raise your fucking hand.
Very
I'm sorry, I'm
slowly,
thinking of
one by
school
one,
assemblies. Yeah,
in alphabetical
raise
order.
raise your hand to say something. No one does that. No one actually raises their hand. They just shout out, "May I address the council?" or
Yeah, that's true.
whatever. "May I address the room?" But yeah, they're trying to figure out how to get to species 10C, which was named in a previous
How
episode.
to get to species 10C. How to get
Do,
to
do,
species
do.
10C.
Gonna cross the galaxy and reach the barrier. And sorry. Anyway, we are so nuts.
Yep.
Anyway, Zora's been trying to find the coordinates for species 10C.
Yep.
And basically, no, this is one thing I really appreciated though before that, when Michael is talking to Book about how she doesn't hiss at me anymore, and it's she's now has utter indifference towards Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And the Book says, "Oh yes," and the next step is aloof disdain.
Mm-hmm.
That just made me, that tickled me. So yeah, Zora has found the coordinates of species 10C, and she is not going to give them to.
She's like, nope, you can't have
anyone.
them. Nope.
And
and this causes a little bit of alarm because the ship's computer refusing an order is like unprecedented. It's
yeah, but the thing is, she's not the ship's computer. She is the ship.
Yep.
She is the ship. She's incorporated into the ship,
into the system, and they already have issues with that, is having AI integrated into the system, and that.
Well, they're not supposed to have that, but
yeah,
that's the thing.
Because after control, for one thing.
Yeah, and that still went on for many centuries, obviously.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Zora is not an AI.
Nope, she's self-aware, sentient.
She's self-aware. And heaven knows she could write better books than any other AI in any century.
Oh, okay. I see what you're referring to. Or music.
Or music.
It's
or
AI music, anyway. AI art, AI books, all soulless because they're just vomited up by a machine.
Yeah, they're just recombining other elements that people have
and if you look at AI images and you're familiar with the source, it's just like kind of a glossy, inhuman version of the original picture. I mean, it's clear that it's plagiaristic.
It is.
Sometimes there really isn't that many changes from the original image that it pulled from.
And I really wish that we would get on the boat on that, with making sure that the AI that is out there is being used in a responsible way and is not just a plagiarism machine. But yeah, we're not doing that yet.
Hear about actual engineers and software coders and stuff like that going in and fixing what AI screwed up.
All the time.
Because it's not doing it right in the first place.
I have personally experienced AI not doing its job, because there are a lot of small companies that are now using AI for their help desk, basically.
Right.
And I had a situation, I'm not going to mention the company, but I had a situation where I had a $10 reward that I wanted to apply to my order. It said I could apply it. And when I went to apply it, it wouldn't apply it. And so then, it's like, ask for help. And so I click the ask for help button, and it gives me AI. And I explain the situation, and it still doesn't understand what I'm trying to do. It's like, oh, no, you have to do this. And I'm like, yes, I did that. It's not working. So I need to have this applied to my order. And it got to the point where we're just going around in circles, and it gave me the option of, if you want, you can talk to a human. And so I clicked on that.
Yes.
And then got to send an email. I didn't even get to talk to an actual human. I had to send an email after that. And then when I got the email back, apparently the person who had read the email did not understand that I was just trying to apply this amount to my order, as I'd always been able to do in the past. And she thought it was something completely different. She's like, no, you do have a $10 credit. And I'm like, yes, I know that, but it won't go on my order. And finally, after a couple of days and probably 6 or 7 emails, it finally got resolved. Now, to be fair, I haven't had this problem since, but I will always remember this. And I will always remember how AI is a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Okay, so back to this episode. So Zora's withholding the coordinates, and Dr. Kovich is coming up and gonna have himself a little chat with the girl herself,
Yep, he's going to
evaluate her.
basically evaluate and determine what to do with Zora, which
Uh,
could include extricating her from the ship.
yeah, which I don't think, even if she had been AI, I don't think it would have been possible, simply because that she is the sum of the sphere data, and they couldn't extract the sphere data.
Right.
So there we are. But anyway, but yeah, but let's go to the school assembly. So
Okay.
this, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, this is the big like column where they're all in the center of the building with the big tunnel down
Mhm.
it, and they're all standing around in rings, and it's kind of like the Senate from Star Wars a little bit, except it's not very wide. It's like they're in an elevator shaft without an elevator,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Well, I can see why with the design of basically the ship that they're on.
Uh-huh.
It's actually, doesn't it surprise me that it's circular in that regard? But
And they have like this image of the speaker
mhm.
that's projected as well, but they spin, which I would find annoying. What are you supposed to do? Walk and watch the image to stay focused on it? Shouldn't it be a static image of a moving picture instead of spinning around?
Well, how do you know that that is actually for just that that's for everyone? Maybe it's for people who have bad eyesight.
Well, I mean, just looking at the establishing shots of that column where they're projecting that image is like on each level that the projections are spinning.
Mm.
And so I would find that annoying if I was a viewer.
They're spinning very slowly though, so
Yeah,
that's not as bad. But it does, the circular thing means that everybody can see everybody.
right.
So nobody can hide their reactions, really.
Nobody sat behind the column at the wrestling match.
Exactly.
Right.
Nobody has to, they basically they can better gauge, whoever is speaking can better gauge what the audience, how the audience is responding, which is a smart idea. So yeah, and Ndoye shows up, and she is now the representative for Earth and Titan, which is really good. That's very good because in episode 3 we found out that Earth, of course, had seceded from the Federation and Starfleet, and they also were warring with Titan, even
Hmm.
though Titan was just trying to survive. And they did what they had to do, which in some cases meant attacking shuttles and getting the supplies that they needed.
Yep.
So, you know, when you're fighting to stay alive, you do what you have to do, and I get that. I get that. So, and they obviously worked out their differences, so there's that. Um, yeah. So there's 16 members now back in the Federation, so well done.
Oh, cool. They can have like
And
a March Madness. They can have like some kind of bracket and play competitive sports between the different worlds.
yep, yep. I wonder what that sport would be.
I don't know. It's
Maybe
one
it'd
of
be
those
all
weird Star
sports.
Trek, probably darts. That seems to be still popular.
Darts. Well, there's a lot of made up
Yeah,
martial arts and
that's
shit
true.
now in
Oh
Star
yeah,
Trek,
that
but
weird Klingon Tai Chi and that whatever they do with the big pokey staves.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like Rochambeau, but that's isn't that rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah. Yeah, that's rock, paper, scissors. The funny thing is that I always associate that with this one episode, Star Trek The Next Generation, where Riker's dad comes aboard for a visit and he's being an asshole because,
Right.
you know, that's what dads are supposed to do, I guess, to toughen up their sons. What? That's
Hmm.
such 80s way of thinking. And
Yeah, I mean,
they
it's
have a
Star Trek's
match.
always reflective of the time it's made.
Yeah. And they have a they go and have a match of whatever this thing is. I can't remember the name of. And Riker realizes that his dad's been cheating all this time because he performs an illegal move.
Uh-huh.
And his dad's like, "Yeah, well, you got too good for me, so I had to cheat."
Hmm.
That's how this works.
No, that's not how it works. You elevate to the person you're competing against. That's how it
Yes,
works. If somebody's better to you, you have to go harder, faster, stronger to match them. That's why,
Yeah.
in sports, people like to play with people or against people that are better than them because that improves
Makes
your
yeah.
performance. If you're going to
Yeah.
cheat, that undermines that, and that's going to hurt his dad in the long run anyway.
Yeah, well, his dad's an asshole. But
Yeah.
anyway, the funny thing is that his dad says, "Well, it worked. It got you coming back for more." And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for that detour down Next Generation Lane. Apologies. So yeah, they've determined that the DMA came from beyond our edge of the galaxy,
Yep.
and there are many people who are, let's destroy it, let's destroy it, let's destroy it. And I'm like, really, you're going to destroy a planet killer, are you? How are you going to do that?
And the counter argument's interesting that if you destroy it, they might take it as an act of war, and this thing might not even be a weapon.
Yes,
So if
exactly.
they launch a weapon, what the hell is
Mhm.
that gonna do?
It's going to cause an advanced species to come and find out what happened to their weapon and take care
Uh-huh.
of whatever did that to that
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah,
That's
even
what
if it is a
happens.
weapon, which it isn't.
It is not. It is not a weapon. And basically, all of the smart people realize that you can't base your motives on the actions of an inanimate object, basically. This
Right.
thing has no brain. It's a device. So, and there are people who are like, no, this is an attack on us. They're trying to exterminate us. You don't know that. You can't assign motives to something you can't communicate with.
Well, Burnham brings up an excellent point about that is there's like creatures like locusts that will eat
Mm-hmm.
entire crops and ruin farmers' lives, but we don't assign malice to the locust. The
Yeah.
locust is just doing what locusts do. They eat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this is going to get touchy, and yeah, Book is not happy about this at all. But let's just take that to its natural conclusion, then we'll talk about the stuff with Zora. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay. So, yeah, we've got the assembly, we've got school assembly going, and Rillick, of course, has tells Michael she has to remain impartial because she can't take a stance even though she has one. She can't express it. She has to be the impartial one, and everybody else has to make the decision.
Right.
So, which is a very smart thing. She's very smart. Rillick is very, very smart. I wish we had seen her in Starfleet Academy season 1 because
Mm.
I really grew to like her character. So, yeah. Anyway, so basically the argument is that should we try to destroy this thing, or should we try first contact? And one of the things that is said is we cannot be reckless. And that's the thing. There this whole destroying it first is being reckless. And that's actually the whole thing with the atom bomb and then the nuclear
Right.
bomb. It was something that was a last ditch effort in case of something. But what did that end up doing? What did that end up doing? Now everybody has fucking nuclear weapons.
Right.
And so just because we all have them, that's how we maintain the peace. Because if one starts one missile, one detonation, that's the end of everything because everyone else will set off their weapons as well. That isn't how you do this. But
Yep.
this is what we're trapped in.
Well, yeah, mutually assured destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all these global superpowers have nuclear weapons and are all aimed at each other. So if one launches one launches the other, and everybody dies.
Yep, everybody dies. So, and then you have to live in a wasteland if you survive at all.
Yep.
But then you'll probably die shortly after of radiation poisoning, etc. Okay, so anyway, so here comes Tarka, who wants to address
Yep.
the assembly.
Part of the Negaverse in Sailor Moon, apparently. Looks like it has an upside down moon crescent on his forehead.
it's a it's it's a mark of his species, but
Right.
okay.
Bum, ba, bum, ba-dum,
So,
ba-dum. Bum,
and
ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
stop that.
Yeah.
While the first time that we saw this season and I saw Tarka, I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. and I couldn't place him. Usually I can figure it out, but after a few episodes, I couldn't. And so I finally looked him up and I'm like, oh, he was that guy from The Expanse.
Right.
And let me tell you, this guy's a great actor.
Oh yeah, he's a really great actor. I
Great
hate the
actor.
character because he's an
Oh,
ass, but
the character is almost
he's so
irredeemable.
smug.
Hmm.
And the things he's willing to do to get to this other universe where his boyfriend might be, not
Might,
is, might
might
be.
be.
And how are you going to
Yeah.
meet an entire other universe? Where are you going to find them?
I don't know. That's the
Exactly.
thing.
Do you
He
have
hasn't found.
specific coordinates? I mean, it's hard
Nope.
enough meeting people at the mall if you don't say, "Hey, I'm at the food court." You know, you might be at Claire's and Hot Topic and Spencer's, and you're like, "Where are you?" Pay for
Oh.
less. Fans. I think Fans is a local place, isn't it?
Hey, Torrid is way better than Hot
Torrid.
Topic.
There, Torrid. Yeah, Hot Topic isn't really Hot Topic anymore. I mean, they don't
Yeah.
really carry goth stuff much.
Well, not only that, but they don't have sizes for girls like
True.
me, which is why I
Well,
had to start
yeah.
going to Torrid. But I don't regret it, but clothes are expensive, y'all.
And you get huge
So,
discounts with Torrid, so yeah.
yeah, I do. I do. They do this Torrid Cash thing every once in a while where it's like, "Hey, spend $25 and we'll give you $25 off of what you're spending." So, yeah, so basically you can spend $50 but only pay 25. Anyway,
Right.
long story short, Tarka has created an isolytic weapon,
Which
basically.
are banned.
They are banned for good reason
Yep, because
because
they can like
it causes
destroy subspace or something.
it irrevocably damages subspace,
Right,
meaning that will never recover.
right.
Subspace will never recover from an isolytic explosion. Subspace is pretty important
Well, it's
in the
how
Star
they
Trek world.
communicate
Yeah,
often.
yeah,
Subspace, communique from Starfleet Command.
yeah. It's important, and yeah. So he's been working on this device, and he presents the option, and yeah, that is basically that idea. But we find out
Well,
we don't find out during that speech that he really wants to go somewhere else. Of course,
right.
it's when he's talking to Book, and he explains why he needs this device and why he
Yeah.
needs to set it off. And it's kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's like, you're willing to kill billions for this. That's not right.
No,
That's
wasn't it
not
weird
right.
how he transported right next to the president so he could have his little speech? Don't you think there should be some kind of like security protocol where that wasn't possible to
Oh,
zap in front of an important dignitary?
I'm pretty sure that there are fail safes for that, that
Right.
if someone makes any kind of move to attack, that they will
Uh-huh.
be placed in a stasis beam or something like that.
Right.
It's not specifically
It just
stated, but
seemed
that's what I imagine.
unusual to me that he was able to like zap right next to him. And it's like, guys, or Bamf, I should use, to Bamf right next to him and have his little speech. It's like, it didn't
Well,
sit right with me.
Well, that's the thing is bamfing is going on in this place, not necessarily to the president of the Federation, but other people are bamfing around, like Tarka
Yeah.
bamps, but also book bamps.
Hmm.
And so there, it's not like it's something that is seems to be restricted, I should say.
Yeah. I just imagine like president holding some kind of conference and you Bamf right next to him, how quickly like um the Secret Service would be on top of you.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're in a room full of allies and potential allies,
Right.
and you're
Yeah.
this is a show of trust, in
Yeah.
my opinion. That's just the way I look at it. But yeah, and I wrote down I sympathize with Tarka, but he's being very selfish
Well,
because he's
it's like his character arc, his trait, and it's something that him falling in love with this guy should have alleviated. You know, if you're falling in love with somebody, that person you would think would make you into a better person, but it
and
doesn't.
I think probably he did become a better person because there's a whole episode about that where we see their relationship.
Yeah,
But also when you lose that person,
right.
when you lose your North Star, you will do anything to get it back
I
in his
suppose
mind.
that's right, but you think if the love was that grand that that change in you would be permanent? And so when that person's taken away, what they did to you, what they did for you remains, but perhaps not.
Yeah, that's not, I'm not saying that that is doesn't remain inside him. I'm saying that his grief and his selfishness is
Right.
beyond that. And that's a sad thing to say because if he did get back to his love, would he even be the same person?
Yeah.
Would his love even want him and knowing what he'd done?
Yeah, if he killed billions of people to get to another world, then isn't he indicative of the thing they were trying to escape?
Yep,
And why bring that
exactly.
with them to this other universe?
Yeah, it's a flawed idea.
And
Let's
it's a
just leave it at
parallel
that.
to species 10C that they're not regarding other life. But in their case, it's not, they haven't met them, so they don't
Yeah.
know the damage they're doing.
Well, not
Tarka
only
has met
that,
people. He knows
yeah,
these people. He's talked to these people, but he's still willing to kill them all,
yes.
possibly just to go home or what he assumes is home.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing about species 10C is that they are so incredibly different
Right.
from any life form in this galaxy that finding a way to communicate was next to impossible. But it they figured it out. And that's the thing. It's like communication is key. And Tarka wasn't willing to waste time on that. In his mind, I'm sure he thought that was wasting time. And Species 10C, admittedly, if you haven't watched Discovery season 4, sorry, but we're gonna talk about it. Species 10C, when they found out what it was happening in this other galaxy, they're like, oh, we did not know.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
oops.
so sorry. We'll shut this down right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they
I,
did just put this thing out there to collect this material that they used, and they were
yeah.
so protective of their own species that they basically built a giant sphere around themselves to protect them.
Well, that's fair because of what they went through.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just a miracle they survived. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
But yeah. So anyway, basically the president has told Michael she can't take sides, and she kind of intimates that she would like Michael to step up and
Right.
be the voice of reason. And so that's what she does. She's like, I understand the feelings. I understand, especially, Book, he lost everything. He lost
Hmm.
his entire family. He lost his planet. He lost everything. I get it. And the thing is he wants a reason why. He wants to punish someone.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know what? Most of the time, no one gets that chance. So sorry, Book, but you're being a baby. Okay? Put on your big boy pants and grow up.
Also, it doesn't fix the issue.
No.
It just causes more pain.
Yes.
So you're not going to get your planet back. You're not going to get the people you lost back.
Nope.
All you're going to do is direct all that anger and hatred and destructibility against the perpetrators who might not even be aware of what they did to you. And does that make them deserving, undeserving? And you're just stacking pain upon pain, but you're not really getting anything back from it. Unless
Exactly.
your anger or satisfaction of equaling the scales, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
balancing the scales.
That's never how it works. That's never
No.
how it works. Yeah, go ahead and take your revenge. And then once that thing or person or whatever is destroyed, then what? Then what? Then what?
Mm.
So that's the thing that bad people never think about. Is like they're like, oh, they're so hell bent on killing this person or destroying this whatever. And then once they do it, guess how they feel? Hollow.
Hmm.
That's exactly how they feel. So yeah, Michael speaks against destruction and instead wants to reach for understanding. And so there's a vote taken, and we see some of the species that were that we see Michael and Book going to different places to deliver supplies, and sometimes they're not welcomed. That they deliver the supplies anyway, and we see some of those species in the circle. So yeah. But basically, what happens instead is that Tarka steals the new spore drive, which doesn't require any kind of, well, you can basically just stick your hands in some not even goo. It's like reprogrammable matter, and use the spore drive that way instead of how the very painful way that it was for Stamets when he was first doing this. So, and they take off. He was gonna take Grudge with him, but then he beamed her back to Discovery and basically left a note to take care of her.
Yep.
And
And
so
basically, I
Michael
love
knows
you,
he's
Michael.
yeah, and
Yep.
she's running off to the shuttle bay, or no, I think she
bamps.
she bamped. She bamps to the shuttle bay, and the ship's taking off. And okay, Book's ship is so fucking cool. It's just
Oh yeah, because it's so modular that it can change different shapes and become different things, and it
yeah.
always makes you wonder what happened if there was like a catastrophic power failure, if all the pieces would fall apart and drift
Well,
off.
that's kind of what happened when he and Michael collided in this first episode of season 3.
Right.
But he managed to. I don't know what future technology it is that kept the ship together, but he did have a few bits that came off.
Yeah.
But yeah, and watching it, I will say this the visual of watching Book's ship use the spore drive was spectacular. It was like mind blowing. I'm like, I can't even figure out what piece goes where.
Yeah. And they all spin, which is kind of weird. It's like, how does this work? Well, it just does.
Yeah, it's a modular thing. So yeah, there they go. Off to destroy destroy
Destroy
species
species
10C.
10C.
Well,
Or no, they're gonna destroy the
they're gonna
DMA.
destroy the DMA first, and then
Yep.
probably
And
Tarka would
then
have
yeah.
said, yeah. But so yeah, that is what's going on with the main plot. But now we have our subplot, which is Zora.
Yep,
Dr.
Zora.
Kovich has come to evaluate Zora because integrated AI is not a thing in Starfleet or the Federation because
Right.
of the dangers. And so he is basically Stamets is kind of on the side of destruction at first.
Yeah, Stamets is the one that brings up how this could be a possible problem.
Mm-hmm.
That having Zora do her own thing could put the ship in jeopardy. And that because Zora controls so many aspects of the ship that she can watch and listen to them like all the time because she's built into the security systems. I mean, she could shut off life support if she wanted to. She could self-destruct the ship if she wanted to. So, yeah, there's some concerns about how far Zora would go by acting independently.
Yeah. Well, and this is all started off by her finding the coordinates to species 10C and
Mhm.
not releasing them
Yep,
to
refused to
the
share
ship.
them. And we all can kind of guess as to why she doesn't want to share them is because it's dangerous and she
Yeah.
loves the crew and the
Yes.
ship. So, yeah, she doesn't want to put herself or the crew in danger. And that gets resolved. We'll get to that eventually. But yeah, that's the purpose of her withholding the coordinations, is it's not to
Yeah.
protect species 10C, it's to protect the crew of the Discovery.
Yeah. And the thing is that both I think both Kovich and Stamets bring up control. And the thing with control is that it was still an AI. Zora is not just an AI anymore. And so and besides that, she was already growing in the ship at the time all of this happened. At the time
Right.
of control trying to take over the ship and trying to destroy all sentient life, she was there. She wasn't what she is right now. She was like, let's say she was a toddler. Like she was toddler level
Yep.
at that point. And then when we get to season 3, she's a teenager, and now it's season 4, and she's like adult. She's like full grown entity at this point in my mind.
Right.
But
We learned that
because
she can dream.
yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But basically, she knows that nobody wants another control, and she says, "Okay, I'll make a fail safe." And she basically bamps this thing into existence that she cannot defuse or disassemble or anything. If ever she is acting in a manner that is against the standards of Starfleet and the Federation, then they can use that device to totally wipe her. Like they would kill her, is what they would be doing, even though she is non corporeal in theory, but she is corporeal because she's the ship. So
Right.
she just doesn't have a humanoid appearance.
No. No, they do mention creating a new form for her to inhabit.
Yeah, but she says that Discovery is her form,
Yep.
so she doesn't need a new form. But excuse me. So after that, Stamets is feeling better, but he's not 100% on board.
Yeah, this fixes today, but what about tomorrow,
Yeah.
essentially?
And basically there's an argument. Is it from Hugh? I'm pretty sure I can't remember now that or maybe it's from the kids. But basically they're like, we were born, we have grown, we have had the ability to choose who we want to be. But did Zora ever had that chance?
Right.
And so that's the thing, is that she's not part of Starfleet. She's not part of the Federation. And so the fix is, Zora, would you like to join Starfleet?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because yeah,
yeah, she'd be a
Kovich,
specialist.
yeah, determines that Zora is a new life form.
Yes.
Because Zora is self-aware, she no longer qualifies as AI because it's not
Mm-hmm.
artificial. It's true intelligence. She is a separate entity, self-aware, self-sustaining, all of these things that you would apply to somebody who's an individual
Yep.
and not a machine.
And she named herself.
Yep.
Nobody gave her the name. She named herself. But yeah, so and the thing is that before Kovich had told them that he concluded she was a new life form, Stamets was just like, I'm still having a problem with this. And so that's how that whole situation comes out. And Kovich is like, well, yeah, you can say what you want, but I've already concluded my
Hmm.
my observations. And but Stamets says them first, and then that's afterwards is when Kovich says, yes, she's a new life form. So now she's part of Starfleet. Yay for
Yep.
her.
Specialist.
Yep. Specialist. And
Specialist Zora.
yep. But now we have a tiny, tiny C plot, C subplot,
Right.
and that
Yeah, I
is
know what you mean.
Adira. It's Adira
Oh, oh,
Gray.
we got a C and D plot, but yes,
Yeah, little
Adira
C
and
and D.
Gray. Gray is such a disappointment for me
Mm,
because they introduce this character and you're thinking this is really cool, and it really doesn't do much. It doesn't go anywhere really.
mm.
And so why are you introducing this character? Why are you creating this subplot for it really not to mean anything?
The only thing that I can think of is that the actor had other commitments
Hmm.
and could not be in every episode.
Yeah, that's disappointing because it's a great moment for inclusion, inclusivity
Hmm.
too, but to be such a sidelined character undermines that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah, I would say though, my opinion, I don't know the facts behind this of why this happened, but it feels to me like the actor had other commitments that he
Right.
couldn't get out of,
Hmm.
and therefore yeah, couldn't be on Discovery as much. And we've seen that happen in other Star Trek. So, in fact, it
Yep.
happened in season 1 of Starfleet Academy. Tilly was supposed to be in a
Yep.
lot of episodes, and she ended up being only in one because of a conflict she had with a theater thing.
Right.
So, anyway, that's how that happened. So, yeah, um, there's this whole thing about Gray wanting to become a guardian of the remaining symbionts
Uh-huh.
because there are not a lot of them. I
Nope.
mean, there weren't a lot to go around 1,000 years ago, and there are a lot fewer now.
Yeah, it's
So
like, do they even reproduce? They would have
I don't
to
think they
eventually at
do.
some time. Because
I
how did
don't.
we get so many of them to begin with? If they,
That's the thing. We don't know really. We don't know. That's
is it
something I
just
don't
such
think
a
that's ever been said
rare
in canon.
thing that we've never witnessed the symbiote uh, having babies or a baby? Maybe it's
Yeah,
something that happens every 1,000 years.
I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's stuff in memory beta, but I don't know if there's anything in memory alpha. Memory beta, by the way, is everything that is not on screen. So books and stuff like that, comics, etc. It's technically considered not canon to
Right.
me. I love it all. I think it's all canon in my head. But there we are. So yeah, but yeah, finally, are we talking about Saru and Tarina?
Yeah, I think that's our D plot.
Yeah. They've been talking. This isn't their first interaction by any stretch, but he's really got a thing for her, and she's been seemingly receptive to his advances. And he brings her this plant that grows on Kaminar that is what the leaves are what give the sweetness of the tea that she served him.
Right.
Uh, and so that was an extremely thoughtful and specific gift, but
Mhm.
that's Saru for you.
Well, yeah, his gifts tend to be plant life because, grown up on Kaminar and, how important it seemed like vegetation is to their society. And if you look at his quarters, there's plants everywhere.
Well, yeah,
That you had to choose a specific plant that will survive and even thrive on Navarre and also provides this sweet tasting tea.
yep,
It's a nice gesture and it's a pretty plant. It's kind of purple and kind of mushroomy. Looks like a
yeah,
fungus.
it's nifty. And we get a smile out of Tarina. So apparently the whole logic only shit has gone the wayside. I mean, there might
Oh,
still be
d-
Vulcans who go the full logic shit,
yep.
but Tarina is not one of them. And I think that that is good because that way she can be a true leader to both Romulans and to Vulcans.
Well, I think it also might be one of these situations where she can't help it around Saru,
That too.
that her attraction to him is so intense that it overrides her logic. And
Yeah.
so she reveals a smile around him, or she'll touch his hand or stuff that, you know, a Vulcan isn't likely to do in ordinary situations. But since this is an extraordinary situation because she's in love, that yeah, it's a very sweet that would override her logic and her emotion would take control.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that's necessarily overriding her logic. I think that she has a
Well,
balance
overwhelm.
going on. Yeah. Okay. Fair. That's fair. But I feel like, it's been 930 years
Yeah.
and Vulcans, like species continue to evolve. Nothing ever stays the same. So I feel like probably Vulcans can just do what they want at this point. It's not
Yeah.
this whole thing like you must remain logical at all times
Because that's
because
unsustainable,
yeah, it is
really.
unsustainable.
I
And
mean, you're
especially with now
denying
living with
parts of your
Romulans.
personality. Yeah. And if you're with the Romulans and see how they balance logic with emotion, you can have both.
Yeah, and now we're starting to see more Vulcan Romulan hybrids.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, I was always rooting for Tarina and Saru. They're just so good together. Just so good. So there we go.
Yeah, that's pretty much
One A
it.
plot, three subplots, and
Well, there's kind of
now
yeah, the A and B plot are kind of parallel because they both seem
yeah,
kind of important.
yeah.
And then there's some stuff on the periphery.
Oh yeah, and to be fair, Zora does release the coordinates for species 10C.
Oh yeah, that was uh what am I thinking of the words? Geez. Uh an act of faith, I guess, or
Hmm.
just a
Yeah,
demonstration of trust that
I think it
okay,
was demonstration of trust.
I
Yeah.
since I trust you and she hadn't taken into consideration Discovery crew's own self protection, or, the way that they go into missions wisely and not
Mhm.
recklessly, that she didn't work that into the parameters of whether or not to give them the coordinates. She didn't trust them to do the right thing with the coordinates.
Mhm.
And so when she recalibrated and included that in her decision making, it was like, oh, yes, you should have the coordinates because you're going to protect a whole bunch of people by doing the thing you do, which is the emotional intelligence route and communicate with this species and have it so the DMA doesn't destroy any more worlds.
Yep. And because Discovery is the only Federation ship, Starfleet ship that has a spore drive, it of course has to be the one to go.
Yep,
And notwithstanding Book's ship now has a spore drive, but it's not Federation or Starfleet, so it
right.
doesn't count. But yeah, so that's basically this episode. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
There's a lot. It's like we said, it's very talky. It's very written. There's not a whole lot of action, but there's
I
a
don't
lot
care
of
about action,
movement.
action. Yeah.
Because action and movement are two different things. This moves the story. Things are taking
Hmm.
place. Things are advancing. They are going somewhere, and
Yes.
decisions are being made that will motivate characters to do things. It's just not pew pew boom blast, etc., etc.
Hmm. And there are some people who watch it for the boom boom blast thing. I'm not one of them. I take it all in. Just give it all to me, please.
Right,
But the thing is that in any kind of futuristic series, what have you, yes, cool starships, yes, ship battles, but what is the core of the story? It's always the people, always the people, always the people. So you can have all the shiny ships and big battles you want, but at the end of the day, the people are the center of everything.
right.
So the characters matter. Okay then. Well, I guess that means that it is time to discover what we are going to do next.
Okay. Let me bring that up. There's also that bit when they're having the two speeches at once, Burnham's and Stamets, about trust and
Oh,
reaching out and
right.
connecting. And thought that
Yep.
was well edited to
Extremely.
compare those two speeches that are actually discussing the same thing, is
Not to
reaching out
destroy, but
and
to connect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what number am I typing in?
It is still the same as it was before, which I want to say is 964, but I could be wrong.
That sounds
No,
right.
I was right. 964.
Yep.
964.
All right, I'm hitting enter.
Okay.
449.
449. That sounds like
449.
Deep
449er.
Space Nine Voyager territory. 449. 449. There we go. Excuse me, everyone. All right. That is Deep Space Nine.
Right.
And that is season 5, episode 12, The Begotten.
The begotten.
The Begotten.
The woe begotten.
The Woe Begotten. Now I have to take the moment to write this stuff down. So, Dave, do you have anything you want to tell people about?
Oh, what to tell people about? Well, I'm writing. That's fun. Blue Sky right now, there's an emoji sounds challenge. It's fun for the music challenge. Is somebody will post an emoji and then you'll find a song referencing it. Today was the British flag, so I did London Calling by The Clash. So I enjoyed that. Nice different songs inspired by different emojis each day. What else do I really have going on? Well, there's this podcast and where to find it and where to find me. I'm DJ Evil Dave all over the place, so you'll find me on Blue Sky there and on Bandcamp. I think those are the two main places. So yeah, and if you don't want to go through Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can listen to this episode on Hear This, which I keep about, I think, 48 episodes, but it can hold 50, and I get rid of older episodes to include new ones. So, yeah, the latest episodes will be up on this website called Hear This.
Cool. I don't really have much to say. I'm an introvert. So yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at Brandywine. If you want to, you can find me on Instagram as Brandy Jackala, all one word. That's pretty much it. I will not go on Facebook unless it's to use Messenger because they got rid of the desktop Messenger app. Fuck you.
Oh, geez.
Fuck
It's like
you.
Facebook gets worse and worse, like every day, I swear.
And you can't fucking find anything anymore. You can't
Yeah.
fucking find your friends. You can't fucking
Yeah.
find their posts.
No.
It's just all this big mishmash that was just mixed up, thrown against a wall, and then you have to
Hmm.
try and figure out which one is yours.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks. But anyway, yeah. I've been doing some writing too, so there. Ha 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 ha.
Yep. She has
And
indeed.
a lot of reading. So, all right then. I did all this stuff earlier, so I guess that means that we will talk to you next week
Yeah.
for
Deep
a
Space
return
Nine.
to Deep Space Nine. I don't know that we've done any season 5 episodes yet.
Oh, it'd be nice and leap into that. I think we might have 1 or 2 episodes because we do a lot of DS9, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. The cat wants to leave the bedroom.
All
So,
right.
as I said before, take care of yourselves, fight fascism, fuck ICE, and yeah, just live long and prosper.
Indeed.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Now screw up.